here live. Remember, every Saturday based. What's going on, everybody? It's your Proposal Pro Coach here, and I am live here every Saturday based upon my availability, of course. And I am live, and I am here to answer your questions. Call me now live. You can get the link in my bio or in the description. I am here to answer your governmental contracting questions, your government contracting questions. So call me now. Call me live now. If you've been wondering about government contracting, you want to get some answers, some straight answers, you don't feel like watching the video all the way through, I am here to answer your questions. Go to the link in the bio or my description, depending on what platform you're watching me on, and call me live now. Phone lines are now open. Call me now. Come get your question answered as we go through this live. Now, the Call Me Live now is open from 1 to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I'm only here until 3 p.m. and I will not be live until 3 p.m. because y'all know, if y'all know me, y'all know how I am. But you can call me live and your conversation will be on the live call. So if you got a government contracting question, you're wondering about how it works, call me now. Phone lines are open. You can actually call and speak to me. Not a bot, actually me. I promise you. All right. So as we're waiting for callers to call in, and y'all don't be scared. Don't be shy. There is no such thing as a dumb question. I hate when people say, that's a dumb question. There is no such thing as a dumb question, okay? All questions matter. All questions matter, right? All questions matter. If you don't know, you don't know. How are you supposed to know if you don't know what you don't know? You know what I'm saying? So I am here to answer those questions that I can for you. Now, for those of you who are just joining me, just a little bit about myself. I am the Proposal Pro Coach. I teach people how to claim their next federal government contract. Because did you know that you are owed a federal contract? Yes. As a small business, the government sets aside money to do business with you. You just got to claim it. And if you don't know how to claim it, how are you going to get the money? Every small business is eligible to win a government contract. And guess what? It don't have to be in the field you're in. You don't even have to be doing the work. You just need to know how to claim it. And that's what I teach people do. I've been doing this for about 2 years. And in the 2 years that I've been doing government contracting, I have won 20 contracts in the 2 years that I've done it. So I know what I'm talking about. Now, once again, you can call in, ask me whatever question that you have, whatever question that you may, hold on, give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. Where's my scrolling banner? There we go. You can call in and ask me what other questions that you have, whatever questions that you have. You want to know about how to get started. You want to know what it takes. I don't know. Whatever questions you have, you can call in and answer me now. The number is, if you're watching me from YouTube, as you can see, it's scrolling on the screen. It is in the description. You can call me now. Yes, that is the correct number. It is, yeah, that's the correct number. Try again. Try calling again. That is definitely the number. Let me just make sure. Yeah, that's the right number. So call me. Try calling back again if you tried to call in. But guys, call me now. Call me now. Thank you for reminding me. The link is in the bio. If you are watching me other than YouTube, I just turned on the link, so my bad. But yeah, call me in, ask whatever government contract questions you got. So once again, 20 plus contracts I've won in the past 2 years. I've kind of slowed down because I'm teaching people how to do this now. But I do have experience on a lot of variety of different type of contracts. So for those of you who have heard a government contract and just not sure what it is, let me kind of explain to you what it is. So once again, the government is required to do business with small businesses, okay? You are a small business. I am a small business. You are a small business. Everybody's a small business who makes under, I think, like $10 million or something. So majority of us are small businesses. And the government has budgets set aside for people for small businesses to do contracts with. That's why I said every one of you guys have a contract that you can claim. You just got to know how to claim it. Okay. So we provide the goods and services to the federal government. So whatever the government needs, and the way we do it is we do what they call a middleman strategy. I call it federal concierge. We provide whatever goods and services the government needs. I don't care if your business is a dog walking business and the government needs HVAC services. Guess what? You can provide the service. I promise you, you can provide the service. And it's just a certain way to go about doing it. But that's what I'm going to teach you. And for those of you who want to know more about it, guess what, guys? I'm hosting a free webinar. Oh, we got our first call. So let's go. You're live with the Proposal Pro Coach. What is your name? You're live with the Proposal Pro Coach. What is your name?
Cheryl, how you doing?
Hey, Cheryl, how you doing?
I'm okay.
Good. First of all, before we get into your question, where are you calling me from? I mean, not calling me from, but where are you watching me from?
YouTube.
Yay, YouTube. Thank you. Okay, Cheryl, what can I answer for you today?
Okay, so as you know, I was working on solicitation for the cleaning of the cottages, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I have a subcontractor, and unfortunately, she pulled out from the whole thing. And yeah, so what I
wait, this is my Miss Cheryl?
Yes.
Okay, Miss Cheryl. You know I call you Miss Cheryl. You know I don't be saying Miss Cheryl. Okay, go ahead.
So what I wanted to know is, how do you handle certain things that was asked of me? She was like confused about the whole situation, right? And so I tried to explain to her, what was going to happen to the best of my ability, right? Mm-hmm. And her response was, well, I started this company not to answer to anybody. So she thought that she was answering to me. And I said, well, you're really answering kind of both to the government and to me. But I said, if something should happen, they come after me. All right. Mm-hmm. But the thing that she wanted to know was a whole lot of questions about, I understood that she wanted to know how she got paid. And I said, well, the government pays you. I didn't say anything about they send me the money, I send you the money. I didn't think she needed to know that. I said, the government pays you. Then she wanted to know, well, what does your company get out of it? And how do you get paid? And I'm like, you're asking a whole lot of questions. Do you want the job or do you not want the job? Mm-hmm. And then, so she was saying, well, I don't think I'm a good fit for your company. So I don't know how do you respond to stuff like that?
You know what, Miss Cheryl? Okay, so just to recap for those of you watching, Miss Cheryl basically had a subcontractor who was excited about the job, getting everything done, getting a quote, going to the site visit and everything. And then she comes back and like, well, how do you fit in this program? Like, how do you fit into this situation? I don't want to answer to nobody. As she stated, I built this business so I don't have to answer to anybody. So now she has reservations about doing the work. And this, guys, I'm telling you, when you start doing government contracting, this type of conversation will come up. I promise you. And it's just how you handle it and explain it to the person that kind of like settled down the nervousness or whatever. So Michelle wants to know, how am I supposed to get around this? Like, how am I supposed to convince her that everything's good? So first and foremost, I think you did a great job by trying to explain. I don't know exactly what you said, but I think you did a great job trying to explain exactly how it works. But people that do that, like wondering how you involved, they just feel like they're not comfortable if they're not like, have the contract like them to the government. And that's okay. Mm-hmm. But how you explain it is, listen, I am the administration part. I just submit the paperwork. I do all the stuff that you don't really necessarily need to do. So submitting the paperwork, making sure, what the government needs, anything that the government needs that you know of. So I'm just the person that the liaison, you might want to use the word, between you and the government. You're answering to the point of contact. You're not answering to me. As far as the work that needs to be done, you coordinate with that. You coordinate that with the government. I'm just a person, and you could have told them like the government pays me through my contract, and then I submit the payments to you. They know how it works. Well, she's a brand new business, so she may not know how it works. So to get around that, you just kind of really just have to break down and explain how it works. Let them know you're not taking extra money. You don't owe her nothing. All you are doing, all you are doing technically is connecting her to the government and connecting her to the work. Now, I know we talked about how much money that could be made from this contract, and you might, if you feel like you're losing them, you might want to bring that up a little bit. This is like a multi-million-dollar contract, and if they, keep start asking questions like, "How are you involved? How do you blah blah blah? What are you making out of it?" Just ask them, "Look, I've been doing this for, don't lie, but I've been doing it to say I've been doing this for a while. I've been doing this for a while." And this is, how the government works. They take my company and I find someone else to do the work. If you don't feel like you're capable of this multi-million, make sure you say that. If you don't feel like you're capable of this multi-million-dollar contract, I completely understand. Then I'll, go find somebody else or whatever, however you want to say. You don't have to say it like that. But some people just have reservations not being having to fill everything out. If you want to give her a call back and try to explain it a little bit more, I don't know how in depth you explained it, but if you want to give her a call back, you can. Otherwise, I would just go search for somebody new if she feels like, this is not part of her thing that she would do. Next time I would ask them, why do you feel that way? So you kind of get an insight on maybe why they feel that way. So that could help. But don't give up on this one. We already know this is a multi-million-dollar contract. And we don't want to give up on that one. So, yeah, that's my best advice to you.
Because I pretty much said the same thing you said. I told her that I'm not taking any money out of your check. The government pays me. And I also mentioned it is a multi-million-dollar contract. And I don't know if that freaked her out or what it was, but she was like, "Oh, okay, send me the contract." And I said, "Well, I don't send you the contract until after we win the bid."
Yeah.
And and then the next day she pulled out of the whole thing. But I explained it to her. I answered every question that she asked me truthfully, and and it was just like, "No, I don't think I'm a fit for your company." And I was like, "Okay, thank you." And then it's just so. All right, so I just wanted to know if I said the right thing.
No, you did.
I could have said something more.
You absolutely said the right thing. I mean, if they're not comfortable, you can't force them. And if they're not comfortable, you don't really want to force them, because then maybe they might not be comfortable doing the job either. Like if y'all did win, I would suggest just go find somebody else. Go find somebody else. Miss Cheryl, I told you, if you're gonna find somebody, I'm gonna go find somebody. Go find somebody.
Yeah, I'm getting back on the. I only have to the 18th, so I got to work really fast. And thank God they have pictures on there so that they can, actually kind of see. They can't go back and visit it, but they can actually see something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you better
give it a try.
You better get off this phone and go get your subcontractor, because this is a good one. I don't want you to I feel really good about this one for you.
I wish I could fly down there and do it myself.
Right. Right, exactly. All right, well, let me know how it goes, okay?
All right, thank you so much.
All right, talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, guys. So see, that's how it works. Nothing scary. You can actually call me now to get your questions answered. So basically what that was is, there are a lot of times these new, and she's a new company. So new companies not sure about working with the government, is kind of scary or whatever. And they're not sure about relinquishing control over to someone else. So being their subcontractor, right? Although we all know the government subcontracts out to us. So she's not comfortable with doing it. And because Miss Cheryl did explain the process, she just didn't understand the process. She didn't understand the benefit of not being able having to, file a paperwork or do the invoicing. All she literally had to do was go do what she do best. She's an expert at cleaning, submit an invoice and get paid. That's it. But because it's the government, they sometimes get scared, and that's okay, and that is completely okay. The biggest thing is to go just find somebody else to go do the work, and that's all we can do. If they don't want to work with us, then we can't force them to do it. Okay, so that was a really good question, guys. If you're just joining me, it's Call Me Live. Call me now live. If you have any questions about government contracting, go to the description if you're watching me on YouTube, or the link in my bio to get the phone number. Call in now and ask your questions. All right. So as we wait for the next caller, I want to introduce, guys, something to you. If you, like I said, if you're about government contract, you've heard about it, but you don't know a lot, I'm hosting a free webinar tonight at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you see it, if you're on YouTube, you can see the page. You go ahead, scan the QR code, and register now. It's 6 p.m. tonight, Central Standard Time. You still have time to register. In this webinar, I'm going to kind of go over the myths about government contracting, because they got myths about government contracting. People think that they can't do stuff that they really can, and I want to break that down. I'm also going to break down why you should get involved. Like, you should get involved. Once again, the government has budgets set aside for every small business, total small business. Whether you realize it or not, you're owed a government contract. You just got to claim it. The government has to work with us. Why not be the business that it works with? And for those of you like, well, I don't have a cleaning business. I don't have an HVAC system. I don't have this. I don't have that. Guess what? Did I say anything about you needing it? No, I did not. I said you can claim it, because how we work is we provide the services to the products or services to the federal government by using other people to do the work. That's what we do. So it don't matter what type of business you have, and it don't matter if your business is an LLC or sole proprietorship. You can do the work by getting someone else to do it. Now, how many times in your life have you said, dang, man, I had to smack because I had to put some emphasis on that. Dang, man, I wish I could have a job where I could get paid 6 figures and not have to do any work. Hello? That is what a federal concierge is. That's what we do. And that's what I'm going to be explaining to you tonight at the webinar. So if you haven't registered for the webinar, you still have time. Go to the link in my bio, or go to the description if you're on YouTube, and go get your registration for the webinar. It's about an hour. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to give you all the information you need to know, and I'm going to show you how you can claim your next federal government contract. Okay. Now, once again, this is Call Me Live now. If you have a question about government contract, there's no such thing as a stupid question. Don't be afraid to call in. I'm here to answer your questions, okay? So make sure you call in if you have any questions. Now, let's talk about something I saw in the news today. Not today, yesterday. Did y'all know that the government is getting ready to possibly shut down again? And they didn't state that they're going to shut down everywhere. They stated that they were going to shut down the Department of Homeland Security. Now, for those of you who know my story, I used to work for the Department of Homeland Security. I used to work for TSA. I was a TSA agent, the people y'all do not listen to. And y'all don't be getting mad at them TSA agents, because you got to realize we be talking and saying the same things over and over and over again, and it gets really frustrating. And sometimes we take out our frustration on the next person. So we are sorry about that. But y'all need to start listening. But anyway, I used to work for them, right? I don't work for them anymore. But when I did work for them, I went through one government shutdown. Now, fortunately, the government shutdown that I went through, it was like in the beginning of a pay period. So technically, I wasn't going to be getting paid for 2 weeks anyway. And within that time, they actually opened the government back up. So that was cool. But I understand what it feels like to not know if you're going to get paid. If there are any governmental workers out there, you can go ahead and comment in the comments that you're a governmental worker. But I understand what it's like to not get paid. And that's very frustrating, because they tell you you have to go to work, but then tell you, well, I don't know what I'm going to pay you, but you still have to go to work. Forget the bills you got to pay. Forget the children daycare that has to be done. Forget your financial responsibilities. Just work and we'll pay you when we can. Now, is that fair? That is not fair. And I get so frustrated that we have children in the administration that don't really give a beep about y'all, because they don't. But here is the kicker. That administration, yeah, sucks. But you still can work with the government by becoming a federal concierge and providing the goods and services. So you're not working for the government anymore. You're partnering with the government. I don't work for the government. They can't tell me what to do in my business, but you better believe they got to pay me for the services and goods that I sent them. Remember, this economy, this government, the USA of America is ran on contracts, whether y'all know it or not. Everything governmental that they do, not every single thing, but majority of the things that they do, governmental services, is done by contractors. That's why it's a whole big thing, whether you realize it or not. And that's why I want you to get a piece of the pie. And that's why you need to register for the webinar tonight. Remember, link in the bio or the description. You still have time to register. It starts at 6 p.m. Central Time. But the government uses subcontractors and contractors for everything. You can get in on that action. And you won't work for the government. You'll be partnering with the government. The government is going to partner with you. They will need you, not the other way around. If you're a federal worker and you're tired of feeling like you don't matter, become a federal contractor, a federal concierge, as I like to call myself. You will be needed by the government because they will need you to provide a good and service. Now, once again, for those of you who are like, well, I don't have a business, start a business. You can start a sole proprietorship, which we all know is completely free of charge. You just, got to do a little extra work. Or you can open up an LLC. In some states, LLCs only cost $100. Some states, LLC only cost $50. Depending on your state, that's the fee that you have to pay. But open up an LLC. And guess what? I'm going to be going over how to claim your contract in the webinar tonight. Go register and get your seat. But you can claim your federal government contract. I know you guys are watching me like, this ain't for me. I can't do this. What you mean do federal contracts? I don't know nothing about the government. I got a record. I ain't pay my bills. I got bad credit. I got this. I got that. Nobody cares. The government does not care about your personal stuff. Is your business good? Is it in good standing? Yes. Okay. Are you registered in SAM.gov? Yes. Okay. We can do business with you. Now, I'm not saying go be shady because, you get in trouble. Don't do that. But there are some people who used to ask me, well, what if I got a record? What if I've been in jail or something? Can I still do this? The answer is yes. Why? Because the government doesn't work with individual people. They work with businesses. Period, point blank. Now, hopefully you ain't still no criminal. Hopefully you ain't still a criminal starting a business. But the government could care less about your background unless it's like bad. Okay? But they won't even know that because they're looking at your business. Right? So once again, guys, this is Call Me Now Live. If you have any type of government contracting questions, upon my ability, I am here to answer what I can. Okay. The number is scrolling on the screen. If you're watching me from YouTube, don't be afraid to call in, y'all. I'm not going to bite you. And I'm really here to help. I'm here from 1 to 3. I'm not going to be on live until 3 o'clock, but the phone lines will be open till 3 o'clock. And if you're watching me from any other platform, you can go to the link in my bio, go to my link tree and get the number and call me now. I am here every Saturday based upon my availability to answer your questions. Where can you go to call someone live and get questions answered that you've been searching for I don't know how long? Okay. But anyway, let's get back to the government shutdown. So yeah, they're getting ready to shut down. And I just think that is so unfair. And I want to give you guys who work for the government or who's affected by the shutdown just another option to not have to keep going through this. And that is by partnering with the federal government instead of working for them. So let's talk about what the government buys. Because you're like, well, my business is a t-shirt business. Do they buy t-shirts? Yes. Well, yes, the government does buy t-shirts. But remember, we don't care about what your business do. You can do the work yourself if you want to. But why? When you can get somebody else to do it. I know everybody and their mama who watching me right now have said, dang, I wish I didn't have to go to work and still get paid. Yo, this is it. Like, this is for real it. Every contract that I've won, 20 plus, I've never met them people. I've never seen the facilities. I've never been on site. I never did any of the work. I ain't never doing none of that, y'all. Okay? But I still got paid though, because I managed the contract. All right. So let's talk about what the government buys. When I say this, I mean this. The government literally buys everything. I don't care what you thinking of. The government buys it. Now, it may not be often that the government buys it, but the government buys everything. From the littlest things like screws, even DNA. And I'm going to say, hold on. Let's do that. I'm going to say DNA as in, not like human DNA, but then again, who knows? Maybe, I don't know. But when I say DNA, I'm going to tell y'all this one weird solicitation I was working on. And for those of you who know me, y'all know I've told this story before. The government was asking for deer, like the animal deer, sperm. Okay, we got another. Let's go ahead and see who's on the line. You're live with the Proposal Pro Coach. What's your name?
Just Southern. Toya, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing? What's your name?
Toya Southern.
Oh, Toya, how you doing? How you doing?
Good to hear from you. I was trying my hardest. I had my phone. I know I had an issue with my children. She was basically, my children would play around with my phone a lot. So we got some tablets for them so they could stop messing with our phones. And one of my child just grabbed this phone and I just unplugged it to charge their tablet up and left my phone not charging up. So when I got to the phone to go to get on the 11:30 call, 11:30 meeting part for the Zoom and whatnot, it was like it was a dead phone. Like I was like, wow, I can't believe it's a dead phone. I got to hurry up and charge it up, and then she gonna be mad at me.
We already talked about this. You good? What is the question that I can answer for you right now? I saw you. Mind you, I got your. So you good to go for the 16th? All right, so we good. But that's for you the last time. Just letting you know. All right. So the answer for you. I mean, you want to call me live now? What questions do you got? Or can I
have some questions? Okay, I did watch over also that you did the tutorial, I believe.
Yeah.
And I watched it, and I was kind of like I was very, very happy to know that all the steps that you had took us through, and I learned it. Mm-hmm. But it was one thing that I was kind of puzzled on. Like they asked for a 1449. And I was thinking, I thought if you was going to show us that too, how to fill that out, but I had to, I guess, to go through other little government contracts and TV channels and whatnot. People that were showing us that, but I didn't get any detail. Like I wanted to get the detail of how to, fill it out. So I was like just kind of puzzled about that. But I knew you was basically saying that was the proposal and that was it. I'm going to submit it. Yeah. But I was like, what about the 1449 if they asked for that? Because you really couldn't get no introductions. And instructions of offers, you couldn't really find nothing like that. And even if you called the officer, they wasn't answering either. So it was like, wow, we can't get no feedback on off that. So I was just kind of puzzled. I was questioning, trying to find out how to fill out the 41449.
Okay, that's a good question. So for those of you watching, so he wants to know. He purchased a tutorial from me called Watch Me Submit, where I literally went live and found a proposal. Found a solicitation. I worked it, did it all online. Everybody saw exactly what I did. Before I answer your question, Toya, was it when you watched the video, did it seem like that's it? That's all you got to do? Did you have that feeling?
Yeah, I did. I said, oh, wow, that was pretty quick. That was like watching Tyson knock somebody out in 26 seconds. I was like, that's all we're going to watch is this 26 seconds? Like, it was fast. I was like, this is real simple. I'm thinking it was going to be a nice good 2-3 hours of, back to back, like paperwork that you got to fill this out, fill that out, do this, do that.
Yeah.
I was like, that's nothing. I mean, I can see why you said you can get out like 20 proposals in 1 month or more. I'm like, I can do that myself.
See,
I mean, the more you put out, of course, the more you put out, the more you're gonna get back, so.
Yep. See, y'all. See, I'm not just making this up. Like, government contracting is not hard. Y'all know I always use the term stupid easy. Like, stupid easy as in it's a no-brainer. Like, all you gotta do is find what you want, get the quote, put your money on top, and send it off. Now, to answer this question, he wanted to know, like, there is a form sometimes in some of the proposals called a 1449. He wanted to know, how do you fill that out? I will say, don't worry so much about learning how to fill it out. Let's concentrate more on, let's get the quote first. And then we can talk about how to do all the semantics later. But I will answer the question. So in the 1449, I will tell you, sometimes the government doesn't require you to submit a 1449. They'll have in their instructions what they want you to submit. And I know a lot of you who are watching are like, well, when you think of government contracting, when you think of a proposal, you think of like a 40-page thick book that you got to send and this and that. And sometimes it literally just be a pricing sheet, or just a sheet that says what it costs, or just a sheet that says maybe how you gonna do the work and then the pricing. Sometimes they don't even submit a 1449. Okay, so it really just depends on what the government is asking. But to fill it out, I think it's 31A B. Like, oh, you put me on the spot now. I don't know about heart. I just know how to fill it out. I forgot the thing. But you just basically fill out your company name. Okay, I know it looks scary, like they got all these boxes. Like, what am I supposed to do with these boxes? You just literally fill out your company name, put your UEI number, your cage code, sometimes your address and your phone number, and then you just sign it. You put you print out your name, you sign it, and then you date it. That's it. That's how you fill that out. Plain and simple. You don't have to fill out all the other extra stuff. I know it looks scary and it looks like, well, this is empty. What am I supposed to do with that? All you do is put your company information and sign it. That's how you fill out a 1449. For real. Now, once you get a 1449, you join the community and everything, you'll learn exactly where to sign it. But that's it. If you even need to submit it with the proposal.
Right. If you need it, because sometimes you don't even need that.
You don't even need. Sometimes you just need a pricing sheet. That's all they want. How much you gonna charge?
Or a cover. I think it's a cover page or something. I think it's something like that. A cover page.
You don't even need a cover page.
Wow.
I'm telling you, y'all, this is stupid easy. I don't know why. I told you guys. For those of you who are not haven't registered for the webinar tonight, go to the link in the bio. Go to my link tree and go register for tonight, because I'm telling you, I'm going to be breaking down how you can claim your next government contract. And as Toya said, he couldn't even believe that it was that easy. People think it's so hard, and it's absolutely not. And we're gonna get into it. So I'm glad you called in to ask that question. But that's kind of an advanced question. I want you to focus on learning how to find a solicitation first and getting the quotes. And then we'll talk about all that extra stuff. Do you have any other questions?
Well, one more thing I wanted to say now. When you did also show on the tutorial clipping, when I watched, it was showing about the pricing. You said some things at the end about how to really actually break the pricing down, and you changed your pricing of the money you put on top. You first said $1, and then you changed it to 25 cents, and I was like, okay, maybe I think she did that because it's a 5-year contract. So you also had to figure that amount in, and then you start. I guess you said, wow, if you put too much on top, you might lose the contract. So you don't want to be too greedy. Yeah. So you're also saying about don't be too greedy. So I think I watched you put the figures down, but I didn't see you put that in on the pricing sheet, how you was showing it the first time. You was putting where it was saying that the unit amount and all the other, the net amount and the amount. You didn't show that part. You showed it basically separate from what you was putting on.
Mm-hmm. So
you were showing it separate. So I was wondering, how can you fill that out when you're using their documents?
Yeah, so pricing is something that is very tricky, y'all. Even though I've been doing this for 2 years, I still get confused on pricing. Now, as Toya said, you don't, and as I said, you don't want to be greedy because listen, we are not doing the work. We're literally sitting like I'm right here sitting with you, talking with you, and I still got courier services going on in Virginia, right? We're not doing the work. So why are you putting $300,000 on top? I mean, you can, but I'm just saying, like, if you want to win, don't be greedy. So when you put your money on top, you just kind of base it on the quote that you got. We always say it's great to get 3 quotes. And do you? Let me ask you, Toya, do you know why I say to get 3 quotes?
Well, I believe because you want to find the highest to the lowest and basically find your pricing margin where you can see where your profit can be at. I guess that's why I was thinking that in my head that you want to find out the highest to the lowest so you can find out where somewhere you can go in the middle and kind of like win the contract. Absolutely. And not be too greedy.
Absolutely. Getting 3 quotes allows you to see what's the price range of this service. It allows you to actually analyze like, oh, this is low, oh, this is high. That way you can decide how much money you want to put on top. The reason why I went down in the example he's talking about is because even though $1 to us sounds like nothing, I think they were asking for like a couple of thousand chairs or something. Like they was asking for a certain amount. If I would have put $1 on top of each one, it would have brought the price up way higher than maybe another quote that I got. And then of course I'm now out the running. So you want your pricing always to be the lowest and competitive. You don't want to be higher than the highest person because then you using yourself out. But you don't and you don't want to be at the middle because then you're higher than the second highest. You always want to be the lowest, but still pricing competitively so that the government, because the government is cheap, so they're gonna go with the lowest price unless it's something specific, and then they might go with technical, like, do you know how to do the job? Because I have
one question. I hate to cut you off, but it was just very, really important. I want to say to you now. I was thinking, can I use this strategy to find a price, that it wouldn't be a competitive price and wouldn't be too much. Can we also like find out different contracts that was won before we were trying to win that contract? Like find the same contract that was won before our contract that we were trying to win. Can we like find that contract that was won before to see what that amount is? Is that a good strategy?
That's a good question. A lot of people do that. They say, what was the last year? What last year? How much did they charge? How much did they charge? And I always tell people, and what I was told, my mentor taught me, don't look at last year's prices. And I'm going to tell you why, guys. Do not look at last year's prices because guess what? Every year the budget goes up and it goes down. So if you looked at last year prices, maybe the budget was $2 million. So last year price fit in that budget. But what if this year the budget is only $100,000? And so you looking at last year's price, which has a $2 million budget, and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to bid that. And now you're pricing yourself out of the bid because the budget that the government has to do these contracts are now lower. Or you could look at a price from last year. It could be low and be like, yeah, I'm going to go with that. But the budget now is $100 million. So now you pricing yourself out of more money you could have made because you're looking at the last one. So you really need to concentrate on what the quote is now and not really so much what they had last year because we never know what the budget is. And of course, they're not going to tell us what their budget is. So I don't recommend you do that. I mean, you can look at it just, maybe to get a ballpark idea, but don't base your pricing on what they had last year.
Gotcha.
Okay. Well, thank you for calling in. I will see you tonight. All right.
I'll be there. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Because I'm about to block you. All right. See you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye. All right, guys. So you see what I'm saying? Like pricing wise is very important. And people get that mixed up. They'll be like, let me go see what last year's budget was. And I mean, it's okay. But I wouldn't do that because we never know what the budget is, okay? Once again, guys, if you want to call me in, I'm getting ready to get off of live, but I still will be taking calls up until 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. But if you want to call and ask any question about government contracting, how do you get started? What is it? Can I do this? What if I have a record? What if I, don't have the money to fulfill the contract? Any question you have about government contract, you can call me right now. As you can see, I don't bite. I said that before. So call me now and let's get it popping. But if you have not registered for tonight's webinar, click the QR code if you're watching me from YouTube, or go to the link in my bio and go get your seat to register. We're going to go over how you can claim your next government contract, because y'all is missing your bag. Y'all keep saying, man, God, please bring me a sign. Let me know. I want to get out of my situation. I want to pay my bills. I want to spend time with my family. All of this stuff you guys are saying, and I'm literally showing you there is an answer. You have to decide whether you want to take the answer or not. Let me tell you some of the things people are making in being a federal concierge in government contracting. I have students who have won multi six-figure contracts. I know students who have won seven-figure contracts. I know somebody, my mentor, who was making $1 million a month. What the heck can you do with, I can't even fathom making $1 million a month. That's just too much money for me. I mean, I would love to experience it, but I just don't know. And y'all, that was off of 2 contracts. And yes, I was counting his pockets. I don't care what you say. I was all up in the mug. Okay. 2 contracts. This man was making $1 million a month. And you worried about whether you this qualifies for you or you can do this. Even if you couldn't do this, if you can make $1 million a month, don't you think you're gonna go figure out how to come do this? I'm serious. And that was just from 2 contracts. I always use that example because y'all ask me, well, how much can you make? Sky's the limit, baby. I can't give you a price. People make $100,000 one time. They can make $100,000 for the year. It don't matter how much you make. It's unlimited. There is no ceiling in government contracting, because the government be wasting that money, because they really do. Okay. So guys, once again, I'm getting ready to bounce in about 5 or 6 minutes. So if you want to call in, you still have time. If you want to be on live, to call in and ask your question. I am here answering all your government contracting questions that I can, so that you can get what you need to get started. I'm going to tell you why I started doing this, why I started coaching. Like when I won my first contract, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I didn't think I was going to ever win a contract. I am that person where everything always happens to me. Be like 99%, blah, blah, blah. I'm always the 1%. I am always that 1% person. And most of the time it do work out. So I'm grateful for that. But I'm always that 1%. So when I started learning how to do this, and I would hear people be like, oh my God, I just won a contract. Oh my God, I just won a contract. I never thought it would happen to me. Now, you probably like, well, if you ain't think that, then why should I think that? Well, first of all, it did happen. And 20 plus contracts later, I'm here to tell you. But I just want to be up honest with you guys. I didn't think that was going to happen to me. And a lot of you guys are sitting here and watching me thinking like, this ain't for me. This ain't going to happen. This ain't going to happen for me. And I'm telling you, you're wrong. You are wrong. The only reason it will never happen for you is if you never get started. As you can just say, if you can just see, Toylin was like, I can't believe it was that simple. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that's all you have to do? Yes. It's not as complicated as you think. And that's what we're going to be breaking down in this webinar. So make sure to go get your seat. Go register for the webinar tonight at 6 p.m. But this is for everybody. If you have a small business, even if you don't have a business, go open one up. You are eligible to claim your next federal contract. And what if the contract that you make, like the first one you bid on, is you making $500,000 for the year? Then you're going to look at yourself and be like, what the hell was I scared for? Are you kidding me? I could have missed out on $500,000 because of fear, because of not knowing, because I didn't have no guidance? Are you kidding me? Come on now. Let's be real. So if you have any questions about anything government contracting, I'm still here for the next 2 minutes. I don't know if that was 5 minutes so far, but for the next 2 minutes, call in. I'm here to answer all of your questions that I can, and see what you can do. But if you are not registered for the Don't Miss Your Bag, how to claim your next federal government contract, go ahead, click the link in the bio, QR code on YouTube or in the description. Go register for tonight, because I am breaking it all down on how you can claim your next federal contract. Y'all, it's a good life. It's a good life. And I'm so tired of, people suffering. The reason why I was starting to say, the reason why I'm doing this is because I want everybody to be a millionaire. I mean, and honestly, once you start making money, and I know this is gonna sound so bougie, and I'm so sorry I'm about to say this, but making $1 million, it seems like a lot, but it ain't really a lot. I know that sounds crazy. I know it sounds bougie. And you probably like, well, let me find out. Shoot. Well, you can't find out. Just register for the webinar and I will tell you how. But it's really not a lot of money. When you break stuff down and paying stuff off or whatever, it's really not a lot of money. But excuse me. Get a little water. But the reason why I started doing this is because I want everybody to be able to live a life where they feel financially free and not bound by bills and, trading time for money and not being able to spend time with their family, not going on vacations because they ain't got it, not having a savings account. Y'all, do you realize during the pandemic, a lot of people failed? A lot of people failed because they didn't even have a savings account to fall back on. Yeah, in my community, we don't really learn about savings account. I'm not saying everybody, but the majority of people don't learn about saving, right? And when the pandemic hit, we all was running around like chickens. This is an opportunity for you to put money aside for your family, for you, for anything you want to do. Do I love government contracting? No. I mean, I do find it very interesting that some of the work that I've done have built things for other people, houses for other people, fences, brought dignitaries around the city, whatever. Like that feels good, but I'm not in love with government contracting. It's a means to get money to do something else that I want to do. So you don't have to be in love with government contracting. You don't have to be like, oh my God, I want to live, eat, and breathe and sleep it. You can, but the money that I make from here is a means for me to open up my nonprofits, for me to get a house, get land, open up my other businesses. That's what I use the money that I make for. Okay. All right, guys. Once again, I will be here until 3 p.m. I got to go do some work, but I am here to answer your questions. So if you want to give me a call, go ahead, give me a call. I do this every Saturday. I may not go live every Saturday, but I do this every Saturday. So anytime you got a government contracting question, you can go ahead and call me. Saturdays, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Now, if you got a question during the week, guess what? You can text me from that same number, and I respond to all text messages every Friday. So if you got a question coming up and you want to know something, you can text me on Monday. Just know I don't respond until Friday, okay? But you can speak to me live on Saturdays, all right? Once again, thank you guys for joining me. I will be here until 3 p.m. I'm going to go do some work. Register for the webinar tonight. It could be your life-changing moment. You've been asking for a sign. Maybe this is it. You didn't come here on purpose, okay? All right, guys, with that being said, thank you so much for joining me. This is my third time doing this live, and I'm going to do it more live. Bring your friends, bring your mama, bring your daddy, bring everybody. Next time, maybe you won't be afraid to call in. It's okay. I get it. You won't be afraid to call in, and I can answer whatever questions you have, okay? All right, guys, have a great day. I will see you tonight at the webinar. If you haven't registered, link in the bio or description or the QR code, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.